Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by the man that gives it his all every day. It's Mikey G. Wolfie 3. Hello, Mikey.
I dislike Skype intensely.
Every day you dislike Skype intensely.
Every day it fucks me somehow. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's Skype. It does like to force updates on you without telling you, and then if you refuse said updates, it punishes you for doing so.
Yeah. It's just kind of like, oh, well, fuck you.
This is optional. By that we mean you have to have it.
This is option. We all have options in life. We have the option to go just visit the pain monster. What was that from Futurama? I love that quote.
I can't even remember that, man. That's pretty good though. The pain monster.
Fellow Articans. Haru.
You doing
By
well
the way,
though, Mikey?
best American president. Best
Nixon.
American president. That Nixon.
Oh, the head of
After
Nixon.
1,000 years. Right, hang on. No, that's not it. My fellow Articans, we enjoy so much freedom it's almost sickening. We're free to choose which hand our sex monitoring chip is implanted in. And if we don't want to pay our taxes, why, we're free to spend a weekend with the pain monster.
So that raises an interesting point. Then does that mean if you can't pay, instead of like having to build up debt, you can go and see the pain monster instead?
Just for a weekend.
Yeah. Wow.
Debt
I
cleared.
wonder how painful the pain monster is.
I remember him, so he was really fat, he had a whip, and he said, "See you guys in the spring." He was really cheery and friendly. Like,
Well,
I believe he had something to do with the headless body of Agnew that was carrying Nixon around.
You've got to enjoy your job, Mikey. That's
Oh,
the thing
no.
that you should do if you
Exactly. They killed Agnew in the end, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. He got run over by a golf cart by Bender,
Oh.
if I remember right.
can. Man, bad times for him.
But for some reason, the headless body of Agnew could still talk.
Okay.
So he'd just go, and I never thought about it at the time, but he had no head. Where was the sound coming from?
It was his tummy. He was always hungry.
Agnew,
But we're not here to talk about Agnew.
the headless body of Agnew.
The headless body of
I'd
Agnew.
no sooner give this body back than I would my little dog Checkers. Ruff. Shut up, damn it! Have I mentioned I love Futurama?
We're here to talk about, of course, Transformers.
Futurama's better than every other comedy adult show. Every other one.
Comedy adult show. What do you mean by comedy adult show?
Comedy adult animation.
Oh, okay. See, I was never a huge fan of Futurama. I enjoyed
'cause
it,
you
but
got
I
no
wasn't
class.
a massive love for it.
No class, man.
No, but then again, my love for Western media has kind of took a horrendous nosedive over the last few years, I suppose. So
It's almost like a lot of it either started off well and went badly, or was just bad and then everyone told you had to like it.
yeah,
Or is just stuff that I'm not interested in.
that's
Although,
the thing.
I have been watching more in the last few weeks, but it's very specific stuff.
I suppose it'd have to be, really.
Mm.
But in the world of Transformers, Mr. Mikey, some stuff went down because Toyfair happened. New York Toyfair, is it?
Yes, I believe.
It's a Toyfair at the very least. I don't know which one. But we're not here to talk about it just yet, as there is a bit of third-party news to kick off with. So first, we're gonna mention this as the part of the news that Jai was probably the most interested in for this week.
I can
Our lovely
imagine.
friend Mr. Jai, as Toy World showed off the TW-FSO1, the last night World War I Bulldog. Coloured prototypes. We finally got the coloured ones. We saw uncoloured ones months and months ago. We saw a slightly coloured one.
Yeah.
I think that was just in plastic colours, though, at the last time we talked about it. Now we have it all done up in fancy colours, and we see all of his head variations as well, at least 4. I don't think he has any more than that, right?
No, he's got 4.
Cool. Bulldog is made in scale with the popular Studio Series line, so he's in line with the Voyagers, it seems.
People are liking it.
Well, that's good. So he's going to be in line with the Voyager, so that kind of gives you an idea of the size he's going to be around. He is a tank. He's a Mark IV tank from 1917 For you tank whores out there who
Yo,
know
you
about your
fucking
tank.
tank nerds.
Yeah,
Not
tank
tank
nerds.
nerds. They're the worst nerds.
The worst of all the nerds. I'm not a tank nerd. I just
Yeah,
think
'cause
that
you're
tanks
cool.
look cool. Oh, well.
Why don't they
that's-
sit out there in their anoraks with their tanks?
Is that what tank nerds do? Do they have anoraks?
I have no idea. I
They
quite
probably
like
do.
tanks.
Yeah, I like tanks, but
I don't want
But you,
to
but you like tanks, but you don't like them to the point where you know what a Mark IV tank... Like, if I said, Mikey, do you know what a 1917 Mark IV tank is? And you go,
Point at
oh,
that
the
and say, "Well,
Bulldog.
that
I'd be like, you fucking nerd. You fucking nerd. But Mikey, what do you think now that Bulldog is all painted up and we see him in all modes and is all of his heads?
Yeah,
What's your
that is
favorite
a
head?
hella nice tank.
Yeah.
That is really well painted. Like, if it comes like that's just beautiful. Lovely old school design as well. Like, I mean, there's nothing beautiful about tanks because they're horrific instruments of destruction. But this
Doomed
is
to
quite
fall away.
Yeah. It's like
Is there a
basically
final
Wayne.
interruption?
No, it's like Wayne.
Just a step away.
Stop that.
Ah.
I was insulting someone we're friends with. You were just quoting a song.
Yes, I was, and it's a good song.
It is. It's the one that no one ever talks about. Because the touch isn't that good.
Wow! God
No,
damn, Mikey.
it's not the best song on that album.
No, I would agree.
But the tank mode, I really like it. I think it's really well done. The paint job's excellent. Just win all around. Robot mode, like, the body it's very movie, so, you know, you have to be into that aesthetic. I'm not quite. Like, I really wish he didn't have the chicken legs. The weird forward knee. It's like, I can't tell if he's got chicken legs or if he just had to pose him in a Dreamwave pose. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, it looks like he's always mid-squat.
Yeah, I hope that's optional.
I don't think it is, you know. I think that's part of his design. I could be wrong.
If it is, I'd be disappointed just because I've never liked the chicken leg look on movie stuff. He's got good articulation by the looks of it.
Does he have a waist joint? I can't tell.
I don't know, but he's definitely got ankles and wrists, and he's got some fingers. But the faces are kind of what make it. They're all excellent. I never noticed the design had a little monocle before.
No, really? Okay. No,
Yeah,
I knew that, yeah.
I never noticed it. And then he's got the little military helmet, and then he's got the gas mask ones, which are friggin' terrifying, and are the ones I would leave on. I would only use those two, because that way he can be like some weird, like, retro mech or something like that. Like,
Is it weird that I see the bottom right one as Atomic Robo?
I think it's right.
Do you see that as well?
Yeah, I do,
me?
actually.
Okay, good.
But like, I could see, like, you know that tank that came out? It was the I don't remember who did it. It was the Bludgeon and the Banzai-tron. The really, really stylized samurai tank that I really liked.
Yes.
I could see getting that and getting these guys, and these are like the little mechs that fight it. Because I come up with a whole fiction for that thing that has nothing to do with Bludgeon. Where it's like, behold, this hyper-technical world, and this old tank that's a mech as well, but is like way more powerful than modern mechs because anime. Because technology never moved forward, only backwards.
It's a relic of the past that use ancient technology.
Yeah. Like I think I said like the sword, because I was talking to Chris about it once. The sword was like, it had a way of vibrating in extreme heat that means it can cut through all the modern mecha armor or something. Just because I love that toy and is so not a transformer. And making it Bludgeon ruined that toy in a way because people are like, oh, it has to be Bludgeon. I'm just like, no, it doesn't have to be Bludgeon.
No, it can be Banzai-tron as well.
Yeah, Banzai-tron works better as well for my concept.
Yeah,
no one cares who Banzai-tron is, really, let's be honest.
Yeah, I care about Banzai-tron, but I'm an anomaly.
Yeah, and you don't care about Banzai-tron. You care about the fact there's an action master whose name is Banzai-tron.
I care the fact that his design's amazing.
No, okay, I'll give you the design's good. But and the action master. Worst toys ever.
Oh, yeah. See, I'll throw this out here. My biggest issue with the Action Masters is the hip joints at shit.
Oh, God, yeah.
They're absolutely garbage.
'Twas the day.
Yes, but even back then, like, G.I. Joe, I think, had better hips because, obviously, with the Transformer one, there was a metal ball-bearing pin that went through, and then there was a rubber band inside them. Now, the rubber band, I accept, you know, that was just the thing of the time. But the fact that it was a metal ball bearing, and to move the leg up, because of the shape of the leg, it had that little square bit. It always you would lift the hip up, so it like the leg was kicking forward, but it would pull the joint down, and you usually try and pop the leg out of the joint. And with loads of them now, you'll bend the leg and the leg will just pop out because of how poorly conceived that was as an idea. What I would like to see one day is a Shapeways person come in and make a replacement joint for that.
Yeah, I think that'd be neat.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know how easy it would be, but I would imagine all you have to do is unscrew the back of the toy, and I don't know. Again, I don't know how easy it is to pop them open, but then just shove 2 balls in there, and boom, you're done. So sort it out, talented people. Get in contact with me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm good with that. Also, there's a bulldog.
Yes, Bulldog. Yes, that guy.
But yeah, I dig him. What about you?
Do you think the paint will be consistent? Because that's really good paint. It looks really
hope so.
tidy.
I really, really, really hope so.
Yeah, because they've got like rust effect. It looks like it's a military dense paint. Like when I say that, I mean like when they applied it to the real vehicle, it's not like a paint that you'd put on your wall. It's like a thin paint for your wall, but on a tank it would probably be there for a beating, I would imagine. So it looks a bit textured as well. I agree the little bent squat knees are a bit on the weird side. I would never have him with the mustache face. I prefer the non-mustache faces a lot more. Because it makes it look less like a Transformer, and I think the less that this is associated with the Transformer, the better it is in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I think that's just because I think this works better as not a Transformer at all.
Yeah, it works. It's like an independent retro mech.
Yes, yeah, very much so. It'd be in one of those steampunk reimaginings of World War One or Two.
Yeah,
which has happened before. So no, it's good. It's fancy. I'm impressed by it. I hope people who get it are very pleased with it. But we don't have a price for it, and I don't see anything about when it's coming out either, at least on here. So, keep in check with your local online stores. I'm sure they'll update you in the future. Mikey, do you want to take us on to next bit of news?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Apparently a few weeks back, and I missed it, Rick Astor, who's a third-party designer, drew up a figure design for IDW Fort Max. He did lots of 3D images, and I think he had the animation of the transformation. So, yeah. But basically, he'd been shopping this around, and people were telling him they didn't think this was marketable, because this is a big ass figure. This is like the same size as Carnivec, the Mastermind Creations
Overlord,
yeah. So
how big was that? That was
very big.
Was it 18 inches?
Yeah, I've seen that toy in person, and it's big.
Okay.
It's at least, I think it's close to 2 feet tall.
Well, like a Metroplex size.
Yeah.
Like the new Titan class size, whatever that's called. Yeah. Okay, I didn't think it was that big.
It certainly felt that big when I was looking at it. Maybe it's just perspective, but I mean, it also looked amazing. But but anyway, he went to Mastermind, and sort of what they've decided to do via their website, Planet Steel Express. They're doing a crowdfunding scheme. If they can get 800 people to do pre-orders on this figure, they will make it. If not, unfortunately, it will not be made. So I've gone over to the Planet Steel Express page, and they have all the accessories. They have demos of the articulation, how the limbs are going to work. He's going to have fully articulated fingers, which is really good. He's also going to have 3 face plates.
Okay.
And I have to say, the sculpts on these are really, really nice.
When you say face plates, do you just mean like different expressions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got a sort of a standard neutral one, yelling one, and a smiling one. Very, very Alex Milne.
Oh, good. As it should be, because that's the design, right?
Yeah. So currently the pre-order's up. Mine is defaulting to euros, so it's €45. So convert that what you will.
Is that for the pre-order? Like that's not the full price.
No,
right?
No. That's the pre-order. So if they get enough orders, this will go through as your deposit. If not, it will be fully refunded. So the guaranteed lowest price of the figure is going to be Hong Kong dollars 1,800, which, if I do a quick conversion here, is that's not helping me at all.
Perfect. It's so big, it cannot be told.
$229.
Is that how much Carnifex was, or was he? He was probably less, wasn't he? Because he was actually released.
I think he was a bit more, to be honest.
No, that can't be right.
I don't remember, but I remember because he was the biggest one they've ever done, as far as I know.
I think you're right on that count. Yeah.
And like once you get into the high-end party on the big scale as well, remember Pandanus, the really, really cool Scorponok from Perfect Effect? Because he was something like $500-$600.
Yeah, he was fucking massive though. He wasn't just tall. He was dense.
I want that more than I want a child one day.
See, I don't. The weird thing is,
I don't really want a child that much.
No, thinking back on him, I don't think he's a very good Scorponok.
Oh God, no! But he is fantastic.
Yeah, he was a very impressive looking robot thingy.
I think the worst thing about him is that someone wanted him to be Scorponok.
Yeah.
But yeah, so exclusive collector's packaging to the first 800 supporters. So if they get more, if 801, you, Mr. or Mrs. Number 1, you get nothing. You get a toy in a blank box. No. With a dog turd in there, because that's what you're worth for not getting in the first 800.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. All supporters will also get an exclusive Supermax face sculpt.
Supermax.
Yeah, and an exclusive rifle. I have to say, if these are being made for supporters, do they count as exclusives if you're giving them to everyone?
Don't question things, Mikey. What have I told you about this?
So, this is going until the end of the month. If you're interested in this, guys, tell everyone you can. What it's looking like is, if it goes through, prototype will be done in April, second prototype in May. Color design in June, test shot August, test shot October, test shot November, pre-production in December, and final product will be 1 year from now.
Well, as long as we don't hit delays.
As long as we don't hit delays, and it's a crowdfunding, so expect delays. But Andy, what's your thoughts on gigantic Fort Max?
Okay, it's good that he doesn't turn into just a giant head, as the last time we got this design, but he does just kind of turn into a big square.
He does sort of lie down.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more to it than just him lying down, of course. You know, neither of us are that stupid to believe that he just lies down. But he isn't a very interesting vehicle mode, at least from my perspective.
And I know he's transformed in, like, at least once when he was fighting Overlord in More Than Meets the Eye, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it looked like.
No, I'll take your word for it, because I can't even remember him doing that, but I'm sure he does. I mean, that just makes sense. It's a good design. It's not something that I would be interested in, as I like my Fort Max to be a giant city and turn into a smaller, less cool robot called Cerebros, who no one likes because he was a whiner. But this is a good representation of what was in the comic.
I'm more into human-sized or average-sized Fort Max.
Yeah,
just because it's what allowed him to be a character, not a thing. But on the other hand, I'm not that big into Fort Max in general.
No.
So
I mean, is that because just he wasn't in it a huge amount for you to get into him that much, really, I suppose?
Never, in any, like, I've seen Fort Max in lots of stuff, Marvel, Dreamwave, whatever, and he's never really resonated with me. So it's just like, okay, it's a cool design, it's just not a character I'm big into, you know?
Okay, yeah.
So unfortunately, like, I wouldn't, even if I had the money, I wouldn't be putting it down. But if you do have the money and you are interested in this, and this is something you think, oh, I would love to have it. Okay, so he's going to be 11 inches. So yeah, you're right, Andy.
Hey!
He's going to be about a foot tall. Just under, rather. But you're going to have to get that pre-order in, because this is not something you can sit in your hands about. You've got a couple more weeks.
All right.
So
you got to get in fast then.
They're currently at about 330 backers.
Right, okay.
I know these things like jump up in the last few minutes, but guys, don't hang around. Trust me on this, because you'll forget about it.
And so you'll only feel regret.
Yeah, and there are definitely 800 people out there who want this.
Oh, I would imagine so, yeah.
So get off your arse and pay for it.
Get off your fucking arse.
Yeah.
Jesus, Mikey.
As I sit in the chair telling them to do this. Andy, take us on.
Mikey. All right, let me tell you, Mikey, as we move on to the US stuff for this week, we had a trailer for Season 2 of Cyberverse, so we finally got to see a little bit of what's going to be coming in the future. We got to see some new characters, and some of them were a bit of a surprise. I'll be honest, I haven't watched the trailer with sound, I've only watched it twice. This is the third time I'm currently watching it without sound. I don't know why that is. Probably because I suck.
Have
but
you
we
turned the sound on?
Oh, no, I could turn the sound down, but it would be picked up by the recording.
Ah.
So I'm smart and sensible and don't want to create extra editing for myself in the future. But things to note, at least character-wise, is we see some interesting new additions, like Lockdown. He's in there. Weird design for Lockdown. He's kind of a mix between the animated one and the specific toy from Revenge of the Fallen, if you remember that one.
But bulk the hell up.
Yes, yeah, that's kind of why I threw in the animated thing as well, because he's sort of mixed with that. So we've got him in those two in there, which is kind of neat. We had who else was in there? Oh, the Autobot shot had some new people in, didn't it?
Yeah, you also forgot. You said 2, but you didn't. You only said 1.
Oh, Lugnut. He's the
No,
other
you
one.
didn't.
Wait, what?
That's not Lugnut.
What do you mean?
So if you'd listened, Andy, to the trailer, you would have noticed, and you may have noticed the little purple lips as well.
Oh,
that Lugnut is a lady.
Is she a Lugnet?
I already tried that one.
Did no one take it?
No.
Oh.
So apparently, she was designed in the early stages as Lugnut, and then for some reason, they've decided to give her a different name.
And lipstick.
And well, I think the lipsticks were part of the design.
Oh.
I don't mind Lady Lugnut. I just, when it's very, 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 very obviously Lugnut.
Yeah.
Just call her Lugnut.
Yeah, that's a weird choice.
Like, they're making it sound like they've changed the character too much, so Hasbro made a move. But I'm calling a little bit of bullshit.
I mean, if you want a big girl, the Striker.
Yeah, if you were that far along and they were saying, listen, we don't want her to be Lugnut because we have an idea of what Lugnut is, why didn't you change her into Striker?
Yeah, change the colours on her. Even if you don't want to make it perfect, you change the colours on her, you get rid of the hazard lines around Lugnet's arms, and, you call her something else. Boom.
Yeah, but if you're going to have her look like that, call her Lugnut.
You know what you do, Mikey? This is an easy fix. Do you remember the repaint of Lugnut that they had?
Oh, Atomic. That was good.
Yeah, do that and call her, like, Atomic maybe or something like that.
I'd
be okay with that.
I'd be cool.
Yeah.
But it's just weird to me that it's like, no one's going around like Acid Storm. Acid Storm's a girl, or might be a girl, depending on who you ask. Well, you're going to have to rename it into something else. That character is not the character that we wanted, so change the character. But I don't know. Like,
it's an odd choice.
Also, I do kind of hope Acid Storm keeps shifting heads. Just to
forevermore.
Forevermore. Like, I don't care. Like, if it turns out it actually is like, oh, we wanted a gender fluid character, that's cool. That's great. But I think it would be funnier if you had an animation error and now you just decided to go with it and never tell anyone, like, just not acknowledge it ever again.
I'm sure we talked about Acid Storm last time, didn't we? We kind of,
because there was an announcement that one of either the voice actor or one of the animators said, oh, we intended Acid Storm, like, they just like having their male heads and female heads. They like to switch it up. And I think you and I both sort of said, I'm fairly certain that's probably a cover-up for an animation error.
That's right, yeah. I thought we kind of came to the conclusion that that's just some horseshit, probably.
But yeah,
it's super unlikely.
Now they've set it up, so run with that horseshit.
Yeah, I mean, you have to now if you've made a statement about it and everything.
Yeah, but Lugnut, I'll be calling her until I hear the new name.
I still like Lugnet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
we also had Cheetor. He also appeared, which was weird. And then we had the gimmick of the toy line, which I don't know how big is going to be in the show, and felt very He-Man 2000 and X when they had to add a new gimmick into an episode or two, where Prime and Megatron both get super armor for some reason. We'll talk about the toys that have these super armors later on, I'm sure. But
they kind of hint it's like Cheetor's guarding the Allspark, and this feels like it's a you must prove yourself moment.
Okay.
So fuse with these things and beat the shit out of each other. Cheetor seems a lot more like I am the Mystic than the old days.
That's
also
that's
Bumblebee appears to be talking normally.
Oh, really? Oh, thank God. You know what I would have liked? I was
Hmm.
hoping, because again, as I mentioned, I didn't listen to it. I only watched it. I was hoping that you were going to have the two young characters, but from two different generations, interacting with each other.
That would be good, but on the other hand, like, I'm not sure that much kid appeal I could take.
Yeah. I think it would depend how they did it. And
Yeah,
how
and, like,
big of a staple Cheeto would be. Like, if he was there all
Hmm.
the time, yeah, it's too much. If he was there to be like, oh, hey, I was a young kid too. Blah. Now I'm a moody teenager. Now
Yes.
I'm a sexually frustrated adult.
He feels leaning more towards the latter.
Which one's sexually frustrated adult?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
no.
just like, I'm guarding the Allspark.
I'm
Are you
so
doing anything else?
lonely.
I'm not going outside. I'm guarding the Allspark.
I'm so lonely.
I don't have to talk to Air Razor if I'm guarding the Allspark.
And pulls out a picture of Beast Machine's Black Arachnia. Dude, come on.
Oh, God.
She's with someone.
Yeah, but, I mean, maybe.
I'm so
Maybe she'll see me
lonely.
for who I am. Maybe
Nope, you suck, Cheeto. No one likes you.
Maybe she'll see the good in me.
She likes Waspinator more than you.
No one likes Waspinator more than me.
Exactly. So what did you think of the trailer, Mikey? Did it
Not
get
bad.
you excited for season 2, or were the little small reveals here and there just enough to make you go, oh, okay, cool?
I'm interested. That's the way it is. I'm interested. Like, season 1 turned out to be much better than I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind-blowing, but for the genre and the age group it's aiming at, it's quite challenging by modern television standards.
That's
Like,
good.
There
And
are bodies. There are on-screen deaths in this show.
And it's better than RID.
It's not an achievement.
But it is something, because we had, like, how many years of RID?
Too many.
Like 2 or 3?
Yeah, at least.
So at least, again, with this, you can go, okay, I can watch this, and it's not like horrific.
I mean, it's still sad to hear the actor playing Prime, who clearly has talent, actually, now he's gotten into the role. Being given boring lines, and 2 being given boring lines by being told to pretend you're Peter Cullen.
So that's still going on then.
Yeah, which is
That's a
a
shame.
shame because the
Yeah,
guy,
bummer.
you can tell the guy has something, and Megatron does a better performance with the overblown stuff.
Is he a bit more consistent with his accent? Because that was quite funny in season 1 when he kind of drifted in and out.
Yeah, there's a listen. As long as he's not pausing every now and then to that weird muscle pose out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, what was that
There
about?
will be war. What? You will fight these guns, Prime.
And thus many a Tumblr fanfic was born. If
Not
Tumblr
anymore.
other stuff. Yes.
That's because that's not allowed anymore.
Not anymore.
Now you have to go to one of the apparently 15 minimum options that were given to former Tumblr members.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how many of those taken off, but I saw a news story on that yesterday.
Oh, fair play.
But no, I thought it looked good. Like, it looks like it's continuing the tone. Yeah, like, surprisingly good show. I'm into it. I want to see more of it. Cool. It's not something that'll blow my mind, I think, but
Safe to assume they're still going to be doing the 15-minute episodes? I mean, it doesn't look like they're going to be doing the whole going back into Bumblebee's mind, which again is a massive plus, I'd say.
Yeah. I don't mind the I quite like the flashbacks.
No, but it's not an idea that you can
No.
continue to do through into a season 2. It's
Like-
it's a season 1 kind of set up the premise of the universe.
Yeah,
and
we don't need-
stuff.
We don't care what he doesn't remember anymore because we've gotten it. He's found everyone. He's found the other Autobots. Why do we care anymore?
Yeah.
Move on. But yeah, no, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Cool. Yeah. I'm fairly. I still haven't finished season 1 yet. I will get to it at some point, but like you said, I don't feel a massive rush for it. It's not like a pain in the back of my stomach, which I had with the Machinima stuff, where it's like, oh god. This is more like okay, I'll watch it just when I can be bothered, but
Yeah.
I'm sure I will have enough fun watching it when I do. And this is the same kind of feeling. It looks fine. It looks entertaining. It still makes me wish that we'd get better toys, but we'll talk about that in a moment, I'm sure. Mikey, we were talking about Machinima. Well, I started flapping my gums about it, at least. I want you to tell me about the future of War for Cybertron and non-TV shows.
Non-TV shows, yeah. So apparently, and I only saw this like a half an hour before the news story broke, there's been a rumor going around for the couple of days that there was going to be an adult television Transformers announcement web animation thing, maybe. So this must have been going around on Twitter or something in the background.
Hmm.
But it was announced on the 15th that Transformers War for Cybertron would be getting an animated series, which is coming to Netflix.
Ooh.
At first I got very excited by some of this. And as I've looked into it, I've gotten less excited. But
Oh.
I'll read the press release. So this series is being produced by Rooster Teeth behind Red vs. Blue. That is the least important thing they've made. And animated by Polygon Pictures, who did Transformers Prime. The series is written by writers from Transformers Prime, Transformers Cyberverse, and Machinima's Power of the Prime series. The series will explore the expansive universe of Cybertron in a way that audiences have never seen before, said John Derdurian.
What?
Durian.
What, as in the
Durian-
fruit?
John Durian Alms. Director of anime for... I love the fact that Netflix has a director of anime. Like, so I still have to watch Agretsuko, but I'm assuming it's his fault.
Oh, okay.
Which I hear... But it's his fault that it took over the internet for a while. Transformers veteran F.J. DeSanto, who worked on the franchise's animated web series Titans Return and Power of the Primes, will be the showrunner on War for Cybertron, which promises a new animation look and style. Contributing writers include George Christic, Gavin High-Knight, and Brandon Easton. The latter two also have worked on animated series in the Transformers universe, specifically Cyberverse and Prime. And Robots in Disguise, I believe. We're thrilled to work with Rooster Teeth's new premium studio division to bring an all-new Transformers fan-oriented series to Netflix, says Tom Warner, SVP for the Transformers franchise at Hasbro. Transformers has a rich history of great storytelling, and War for Cybertron is an exciting new chapter in the Transformers universe. So before I go into why my excitement dropped, just Andy, what's your initial reaction?
Well, without much information, just going off the initial kind of looking at the surface level, good. You keep harping on about how good Rooster Teeth's CG series are, and I thought to myself, oh, well, maybe this will mean Transformers will have a better representation than they have for the past 3, in quotations, adult shows. So I'm good, I hope. I have a feeling you're going to tell me something that might make me change my mind a little bit, or at least dull the experience.
Yes, so...
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say no.
Yeah, I was very excited at first, because Rooster Teeth and I was saying, like I said, I've been singing their praises for a while, and them doing a Transformers show would be a dream come true, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Because the guys who do that series are the kind of guys who get it. Especially with, like, anime, mech, stuff like that. They know their stuff. And animated by Polygon Pictures. Again, a lot of people went Transformers Prime. Holy crap. Because that was a good-looking show, wasn't it, Andy?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Yeah.
Then I looked in. It being produced by Rooster Teeth.
Oh.
But only produced. Now, which means we don't know how much creative influence or control they have.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what does that mean in this situation? Because
Well,
that's what, every time you hear the words produced by, you have to ask yourself, what does that really mean?
Basically, they're at least doing an oversight. They're the oversight committee, for want of a better term. Now, I don't know how deep this is going to go. Sometimes producers are very in there. They're more showrunners than they are producers. Sometimes they're very hands-off. I don't know. But animated by Polygon Pictures. Pretty exciting, right, Andy?
Yes.
Would you like to know what else they've been... That was the show they did back in 2011, 2012. Would you like to know what else they've animated since then?
No.
I'm going to tell you.
No.
Knights of Sidonia.
Oh, no. No, but that was awful.
Transformers, Robots in Disguise.
What?
Aijin, Demi-Human.
I don't know that.
Can you imagine what it looks like?
Is it the cute little
no,
almost
it's a horror.
cat creature thing with big ears?
It's a horror.
Okay.
Fist of the Blue Sky, which is a prequel to Fist of North Star, and
that sounds like a joke. Like that doesn't sound like a real thing.
It's a real thing, and it basically kind of looks like a slightly better version of Berserk.
I do know that because I've seen the guy with the neck that's like 30 times bigger than it should be with a teeny little pea head, and it's so bad.
Godzilla, Planet of Monsters.
What happened to this company, Mikey?
Godzilla, City on the Edge of Battle, and
Oh
Godzilla,
my
the Planet
God.
Eater. And you've seen at least the trailers for those, haven't you?
Yeah, they look like they are done by the people that made Knights of Sidonia.
Yeah, which is and with that wonderful frame rate.
What frame rate?
Yeah,
what the fuck happened to these people?
I don't know, but basically they did Clone Wars as well.
What the fuck? Like, Clone Wars is really good. Prime was really good visually, and there was no frame rate issues. Do you think it's just like no one's giving them money, or do you think they're just messing up somewhere?
Well, I mean, it's just I feel like when anime CG became a thing,
yeah,
these guys made a poor choice.
Clearly.
They also did Blame, which I've never seen, but I've heard of. Now, like, when I talk about Rooster Teeth, they kind of do a similar animation style, broadly speaking, to what you're getting out of these kind of companies.
You mean in terms of how it looks?
Yeah, and, 3D, how the 3D models move and everything else. The difference is they have things like expression, movement, frame rates. And, as I point out, their budget, not that big.
That's true, yeah.
So, but, they do the best they can. And the limitations that you do find in the animation are there because it's a limited budget.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see they're like eking every little bit out of it. Whereas, these guys have been you do not have a small budget on a Godzilla film.
You wouldn't have thought so.
And that movie looked like ass. I'm being less kind to it as I get further away from it.
Yeah.
So that's not great. It gets better. It gets better. So F.J. DeSanto was the head writer and, depending on who you ask, the showrunner for all 3 Machinima series.
Oh, okay.
And he was generally considered to be kind of the unifying factor on why it was terrible.
Oh,
no. He was the only writer who did all 3 series. Also, it's one of the only series he's ever written.
Oh, what the fuck?
And I found out several of the writers on the Machinima series, they were mostly producers.
Right.
Like, George Christic wasn't. He was a co-creator for Megas, and I feel like he was dragged through the mud with these guys. But several of the other ones, and Adam Beechan came on after a while, but from RID. But, so yeah.
So this main guy that's came is potentially a big reason why it was written so poorly, the Machinima stuff, potentially.
Yeah, he may have been, one of the things, he may have been the script doctor. So, basically, he was like Mildred Scott back in Prime, where his job was to tie everything together.
Except not good, let's make that
not
statement.
Good. No, she knew what she was doing. And
I wanted to rush in there and just be like, hey, Mildred Scott did some good episodes for Prime. Yeah. Real good.
Yeah, that Mildred. Ugh.
Fucking terrible. That episode with the characters and the good storytelling.
Yeah. She did an episode of Cyberverse. And it was like, hey, this episode of Cyberverse seems to be leaning a little heavily on the let's do the mind rape.
Yeah.
God damn it, Margaret. Just write a happy story where nothing bad happens to anyone.
Never. Pain.
So I have really mixed feelings about I really, like, a Netflix budget behind this could be good if they use it, or if they're given a proper budget.
Sure.
But if this is basically a case of, like, they had this planned with Machinima, what I actually think is going on here, right? Machinima has caved.
Oh, yeah.
Caved. I really strongly suspect they had a deal to do this series. And all these guys are being brought over because they were already on the Machinima version of War for Cybertron.
Right.
And I suspect this is basically them going, okay, we want to get this show done. Rooster Teeth, you come in, you be the producers. Like, we'll switch animation studios away from Tatsunoko. Because remember, Tatsunoko Studios, really good animation studio. That's what they made for this show, for Machinima. So even if Polygon were brilliant, I would be nervous. And basically do the same thing. Like, I'm hoping that Rooster Teeth's in charge. It means, like, someone with some actual soul might be working on this, on like, overseeing things. But I really, really think there's a very good chance this is basically a show that was being made by a terrible company that's been moved over to a good company, which may not have the freedom to do what it needs to do with it.
Oh, that's depressing.
I don't know. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping this is a brilliant experience where they take total advantage of doing a series on Netflix, write a brilliant show, it looks amazing, whatever. I'm just...
No hope. Less hope.
Less hope is better. Less hope. So, yeah. Keep an eye on it.
Potentially a bummer, I guess.
2020, this is going to be out, so we've got time, so wait and see. Anyway, Andy,
Yes.
Take us on to some toys.
Let me tell you, Mikey, about some goddamn toys and some previews before Toyfair that kind of spoiled it a little bit.
Yeah, there was a weird thing this year.
Yeah,
Where
seemed to happen
everything-
quite a bit.
Where like 80% of what was shown at Toy Fair was shown before Toy Fair.
Like, in previous years, I'm sure we've had reveals before Toyfair, but it feels like specifically this year we've had a lot more shown to us well beforehand. But never mind, we're going to start off with the Cyberverse previews that we got. I mentioned that they had some fancy armor in the trailer for the last thing, and apparently it'll be themed as Spark armor.
Yes.
Spark armor, which will add to the robot and also be a secondary vehicle thing. So it'll be like a plane or a tank, and it'll turn into armor and click onto things. If only it was a strawberry, it would be very similar to something else. But actually, it is. I suppose it is very much like a video game that connects to a doctor, if you would as well, if you're a Kamen Rider fan. So the ones we saw, at least in the preview, were a Prowl, a Skybite, a Jetfire, a Starscream, an Optimus Prime. There was also... Oh no, sorry, the Prowl, the Jetfire, the Skybite, and the Starscream were kind of normal ones, and then you had Elite Class Bumblebee, Megatron, and Optimus, because of course they're the more popular characters. And to cap it off, because there was another Optimus Prime with Arc Armor, which was the Arc, that turned into stuff. Which features the core Optimus Prime figure paired with a replica of the G1 Arc that converts into armor as well. So some interesting ideas here. I don't think the toys look like they are much better on their own. Maybe a little bit better on their own.
They clearly
had.
have the basic articulation.
Yes.
All of them. They're all shown with bent knees and bent arms.
Yeah, so in that case, I suppose... Yes, they are better than the previous stuff because they're not hampered by a gimmick.
Yeah, I think
in that way,
putting the gimmick as an extra thing, especially in a toy line like this, which is very, very, very gimmick focused.
Yes,
I think it's good because it means that you do get an uncompromised figure at the core, even if it's not an amazing figure.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but the way I look at these figures are action mastery. But the fact if the Action Masters themselves could transform as well, because with the Action Master, that's true. But they actually turned into something rather than the Action Master Elites, which turned into fucking something.
I don't know. Megatron is basically his crotch on wheels.
Let's have a look at Megatron. I mean,
groin first. He's going into life groin first.
Yeah.
Optimus is Optimus sitting down.
At least he looks like a truck, though. I will 100% give you that Megatron looks like an Action Master Transformer. I will 100% give you that. Prime at least turns it into a truck, even though you're quite right, he sits down and crosses his arms, effectively.
I'm not coming out.
Quite
you
rightly.
can't see me.
Yeah, so these are not highly transformed figures, but I think they are improvements in a sense. I think Skybite probably works the best, because it's a shark, and you shrug and you go, it's fine.
And also Skybite.
Yeah, I think for kids, this is a really good line because you get a transformer that transforms, then you get a little armor, which is an extra vehicle which they can play around with, and then also combine with the figure. Do we know if the armor? I mean, this might be something we cover later, but I'm going to ask you now. Do we know if the armor combines onto everyone else, or is it just specifically to the figure it comes out with?
I believe it's universal.
Oh, then
as long as
really
it's in
good.
the right size class.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that's really good then. If that's the case and it does work like that, then
because if you notice, they all basically use the same ports.
Pegs. That's right. Yeah, ports and pegs.
And like Skybite has the same ports in it like that Starscream has, even though you notice his drill tank, it only goes in the upper body.
Yeah, quite right.
And Jetfire, same. Bumblebee, same. Prowl. Prowl's face is weird. I'm just going to say it now.
You mean his face in general? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
He looks fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say it. I don't care.
Condom left me and I don't feel good.
Only donuts love me.
It's kind of true.
Yeah. I think it's worth mentioning as well the vehicles they're paired up with, as Prowl's paired up with one of the cooler standalone vehicles. It's a weird space jet.
Yeah, I like it.
Which could be Brainstorm-esque.
Yeah.
Not 100%.
Yeah.
Jetfire comes with a really cool tank. I really like the tank. I don't know what kind of tank it is, though. I don't know if it's Mark V battle tank from
Tank
1939. A Skybite comes with a drill.
With wheels.
With wheels.
That's cool.
Reminds me a little bit of the Thunderbird drill, even though that had tank
I can see
treads. I don't know why. And I don't know why you'd pair a shark and a drill together, but yeah.
I don't know. Why would you play in I suppose jet in a tank, you at least
That
get the
makes
logic.
sense. Yeah, attack from the ground, attack from the air.
To be fair, it's a flying shark, Andy.
Is it?
It probably is, because that's Dave swimming.
He looks more like a submarine shaped into a shark.
That's not better.
Well, it
Why
means
does he need a drill?
that's the question, isn't it? Because it means his drill's left on land alone. Sad.
Yeah. What if these things are sentient?
That's no.
What if?
Aw.
Yeah, think about it.
I don't want to.
And what if, like, because one, this suggests that Skybites in the show, which I'm all up for. But what if he like has to leave it, and every time he does, he comes up with a different haiku?
I think Skybite would be in the show, but I think he'd be a background character because we had a lot of background characters in season 1 at least. So I wouldn't be overly surprised.
I'd be all like, I'm just like Cyberverse doing a Skybite.
Yeah, bring him back on TV. That'd be neat. Get Pierce Bellos back as well.
Oh my god, if they did that, that would be amazing. But he's union, and they have no union voice.
Oh fuck! God damn it, Peter Spellos. This is what you get for being part of the union and wanting rights. Starscream comes with a bulldozer. Bumblebee comes with a battleship, like a full-on battleship, which is really badass and would make me like if I was gonna jump into this line, I'd be tempted to pick up Bumblebee just for the battleship.
I wish Starscream's little bulldozer friend was green.
Mikey.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing. It might be green if it comes with a repaint and a retool of Starscream, though.
Yeah. That would be good.
But wouldn't you be sad because it wouldn't be a constructor bot because he wouldn't transform it into a little dude with a little eye for a face?
I'm always sad about that.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were getting at.
I know, but I'm still sad. You
Oh,
made it
okay.
worse.
Megatron comes with a helicopter, which looks like a helicopter I've seen before in Transformers. And Prime comes with a jet with massive Gatling guns. Yes, it's the Cyclonus helicopter. Yeah,
From
good
Armada.
spot.
Yeah.
And then Prime combines, as we said, with the Ark to form a really
the Ark
pretty
isn't
cool.
like the Ark, and then there's also a jet one as well.
They're two separate ones.
Okay, so they're two different separate ones.
It's specifically split up into the Elite one, which is Prime with the jet, and then there is, it doesn't state what size it is, but I guess it's like a Supreme class or whatever, because the main Optimus Prime is definitely different from the smaller Optimus Prime that comes with the jet. So
I think the jet one looks better.
I think it does as well in some ways. I think it might look better, but I really like the armor combined, to be fair. The Arc one.
Yeah, although I have many questions about why he's carrying the Ark around. Because if this is in the show, what?
Maybe it's a submarine to fight Skybite in the sea. I don't know.
The Ark has a tiny Ark that he uses as a sub.
Maybe. What do you think of these then overall, Mikey? Do any of them stand out to you?
I like the Skybite. The armor combinations, probably Bumblebee and Megatron are my two favorites. Prime works, but he's just not for me, so to speak.
I'm not overly fond of the Megatron one, to be honest.
I don't know. I think it's the head.
The head's nice. I don't like the arms around a pair of nether arms, like the ordnance arms, like his
been
arms
learning from Shockwave.
But his arms just seem to be hanging there, not doing anything. It kind of breaks the flow. Like it feels like the ordnance arms are meant to go around his normal arms, but they don't because of what the toy's trying to do.
True, but it still works for me.
Okay.
And also, I like the fact we've got a Megatron with elbows.
Is that a first? I think that's a first.
In this line, this is the first.
Yeah.
So those are my those are my favorite ones. I think the overall gimmick will work. I think there will be a lot of adults complaining about it.
I mean, yes, but I would argue to them that it's better than the last line, so...
It's a marked improvement.
You know what my problem is? No Shadow Strike.
Boo.
Because you
ruined it.
I know, because I'm not saying it would have happened, because I don't know how much they put into the robots versus the robot and gimmick. But we might have got a better Shadow Strike. No, she didn't get a warrior, did she, at all?
No, she just got the Ultra, the crappy Ultra.
This would have been the perfect place to have one then. Yeah, I have ruined it for you. Fuck you, Mikey.
Thanks, Andy.
No worries, Mikey. We also got new reveals also at was it Toyfair? Was it before Toyfair that this official images came out, or was it after?
Before.
During?
The one with Alpha
Okay.
Trion came before.
Yeah, okay, so we got these official ones as well. They showed off the Arc, Optimus Prime, and then the Elites, Megatron, Bumblebee, and Optimus. There's also the Ultimate Grimlock. There's the Why is there so many different names? There's the Ultra Alpha Trion. I don't know how these are going to be stocked up. Warrior Class Nor, Warrior Class Dreadlock, which are not part of the combining gimmick line.
So they unfortunately have problems.
Yes, yeah, we'll talk about that, which is a bugger. One step change your Shockwave, one step change your Skybite. So we're getting 2 Skybites, but they are the problems of being one step changes. The Spark Armor, Jetfire, Prowl Skybite, Starscream.
There's no one new after that. So.
No. And then the Scout Class, Optimus Prime, and Scrapnel. Scraplet, my apologies. Scraplet.
Yep.
So, what do you think about the new... We'll start off with the Scout Class Optimus Prime and Scraplet, because the Scraplet is 100% new. It doesn't seem to turn into anything, granted.
No, its gimmick is its mouth opens and appears to have a big spinny blade.
Oh, is it a blade? I thought like it was a vortex beam.
So the Optimus, I kind of like the sculpt, but it looks fairly terrible.
Yes, I think that's fair.
The Scraplet, I want 52 of them. I love it. I think this is amazing. It seems to have some sort of weird paint wash on it, so I'm hoping that's actually on the toy.
Yep.
It's designed after the ones from Prime.
Sort of. It's weird because the image we have is, at least when it's not had its mouth open, it almost looks like someone photoshopped like half of its head off, because it just goes flat.
It's basically a head with legs.
Yeah.
And I love that, and this is amazing, and this is the best Cyberverse toy. No contest.
Oh, boom. All right.
And yeah, it just looks remarkably vicious, and I want to see them eat someone in the show. Because this show might do it, to be completely honest.
Well, what do you think of the Ultimate Grimlock?
Way, way, way better than any other Grimlock they've done.
Yeah, it looks like if you were going to buy a Grimlock, this would probably be the Grimlock you should buy over the other ones.
Like, looks like the design from the show. Would be the first, like, in both modes. Like, the Rex looks like the T-Rex design, the robot looks like the robot design. Still limited, and still has gimmick stuff, like, he's got a tail sword, which becomes side shin swords.
Yeah, but it doesn't hamper the articulation, at least. So he actually has that.
One slight problem with the articulation, it looks like he has the upside-down fists. So he can do a lot of, like, very dramatic gesturing.
Oh, yeah.
But listen, I can handle that. But I think it looks good, and we saw some. We'll talk about them later, but we saw some prototypes on Toyfair, and I think it turned out pretty well. Within the logic of Cyberverse, it's still not what I'd want for these designs, because I do like these designs a lot. But I think it's good. I think it's. I just really like having the head right on the dino, because it was the weird sort of. The way he's been done in other toys is just, like, really weird to me.
There's something off about it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't like it. So yeah, and this guy's not got a gimmick going through his entire torso.
Thank God.
He's just got sword tails, which are, for the most part, not inhibiting anything. So I'm into him. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, he's all right. He's like you say, better. He's just a bit too Grimlocky, I guess, for me. But I don't know. Alpha Trion, though, Mikey?
We're back into the gimmick stuff again.
We are. He's a little round boy.
Yeah, he does look like he's got, again, the basic articulation is there.
And it looks like the gimmick is just in his wing shoulders, which are stuck onto his back, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's supposed to be missiles, but it does look like he's basically flying around and clubbing people.
Oh, I thought you were going to say hitting people with candy floss.
Logic's the same.
Yeah, it's the same idea.
Yeah, so I think he's okay. Some of those Ultra figures are okay. It's just there's no standard quality to them.
No, yeah.
You got
they
Shockwave and Shadow Striker are from the same line. I wouldn't believe it if you told me.
It's a weird line. Next up, Warrior Class, Nor, and Dreadlock. I would say that Nor specifically looks like a worse version of the Combiner Titans Wars one.
That's a decent little sculpt, completely ruined by no articulation and a fairly useless gimmick.
I 100% say it's exactly the same as the one that we just got.
Just not as good.
Yeah, 100%. It looks like it transforms the exact same way. Exact same way. But then has a, like, hip spin action. Dreadlock Mikey. Oh boy, what happened to Dreadlock?
Those aren't even Deadlock's colors.
Aren't they?
No, he's black.
Aren't they?
They're not even Drift's colors.
Aren't they?
Not really.
Actually, when I say aren't they this time, I mean he was in the show. He was in the show
He's black
once.
and
was
grey.
Was he black and grey in the show?
Yeah, he's in standard Deadlock colors.
Okay, I couldn't remember offhand there.
So he's never... I'm assuming considering he's on the Ark, I'm assuming he's an Autobot now, so...
So he's wrong on all counts, basically.
Yeah, and it also looks like kind of a dire toy, because the vehicle mode's just ridiculous. And his arms are one big gimmick thing, so the arms are ruined. And the gimmick is his swords flip out.
He looks like he should be a Micromaster-sized figure.
Yeah, yeah.
From the looks of what he can do, that's the kind of impression I'm getting of him.
What
does one-step Shockwave turn into? Because I can't tell from the picture.
I'm assuming it's that walker thing?
Is it? Because it's so hard to tell. It looks like a mess.
I don't know. I like that. You can definitely get one step out of it.
Yes. Yeah, I'll give you that.
I like the robot mode, honestly, in terms of the sculpt.
Yeah, it didn't look too bad. He's got a bit of kibbly nonsense on his shoulders, but apart from that, yeah, okay. Was there anything else? I think that was it.
Skybite?
Yeah, I mean, do you have anything on
Skybite? I just want to point out, he has a shark head hand.
A massive shark head hand. Massive.
But his body is really skinny.
Yes. Weird choices.
No, I don't think there's anything else new after that.
All right, fair enough. Then take us on and talk, Mr. Mikey, about BotBots.
Yeah, so we have images of BotBots Wave 2 packs and teams. This is called the repaint wave, because while there are new molds, there's quite a lot of repaints in here as well. So Wave 2 brings a lot of fun with BotBots Series 2 and 3. 7 new teams: Spoiled Rottens, Music Mob, Swag Stylers, Fresh Squeezes, Playroom Posse, Season Greeters, and Goo Goo Groupies.
What?
Goo Goo Groupies. There. These are going to be available on the 1st of April. Retail price $3 these are for the blind box figures. This will include Grumpy Clumpy, Atomic Freeze from the Spoiled Rotten, Glitch Face, Technotic Sonic, and TV Cop from Techie Team, Captain Swoom, and Pooh Sham from Toilet Troops. There's some other ones mixed in. I won't go through them all, but same thing. Series 3, again, we're going to have blind bags. Then we're going to have 5 packs for Series 2 and 3. Those are going to cost $10 each. Same release date there. 2 Shed Heads 5 pack. Or the Shed Heads 5 pack, which is going to be mystery 2-in-1 collectible figures. 5 BotBot figures, and 2 from the Shedheads and 2 from other teams. And then we're going to have that for the rest of them. And then we've got 8 packs, which are going to be $14.99. Same kind of structure as before, so I won't go through it again, but there's going to be an extra couple of figures in there from other teams. They show a few pictures, and like I said, there's quite a few repaints in here. So I don't know BotBots well enough to know which of the new molds and which are not. I'm fairly certain the fish that looks like a gone-off piece of fish is new.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, that's a new one.
Yeah. I'm just scrolling through some. I think some of the musical instruments are gotta be new.
There's a lot of new ones in here.
Yeah. Avocado is definitely new. But yeah, like I think the new molds are like neat and fun. I haven't had a chance to pick up any BotBots because they haven't showed up around here, and I'm not.
They still haven't showed up.
Nope, I'm not buying them online. If I go up to Dublin or something, there'll probably be some up around there. But no, they're neat. I think they're cool. BotBots are amazing in general. Buy me BotBots, people.
Boom.
Including the tuna can that turns into a fish. What's your thoughts, Andy?
I'm really glad I managed to avoid getting sucked into botbots, because I think I would enjoy them for a small amount of time and then not be happy
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah, I think they're not a regret purchase, but they are one that I wouldn't want to be a completionist on it.
Yeah. So I think these look neat. I know a lot of people are going to be super pumped for them because I see everybody fucking talking about botbots online at the moment. 'Cause people are loving them, it seems, at least the people I follow. And these look like a nice addition. It looks like there's some interesting ideas in here. There's some fun ones as well. To kind of just expand on the weirdness that are the botbots. So yeah, go for it. It's just something I'm gonna happily slide away from. I think that'd
I
be
do
a
want that
smart
unicorn
thing.
that turns into an ice cream cone.
Okay.
I would like someone to get me that one, so I don't have to go looking for her.
Maybe it'll appear in your store like tomorrow.
I don't trust my store.
I think that's wise at the end of the day, to be fair. Shall I take us on to Toyfair, Mikey?
Do that.
Right, well, we'll start off with the smaller stuff and then ramp it up. Super 7 are showing off some Transformer stuff, and Super 7 are the company that are currently doing the Masters of the Universe Classics line. They also are doing those very retro-styled 70s figures, and we get to see some of the stuff that they're doing. They're also doing the Super Cyborg, Optimus Prime, and Megatron, which we've talked about before, which are the G1 Prime and Megatron, but with the translucent torso, so you can see their inner gubbins. We saw
Quite
some.
interesting.
Yeah, we actually saw them at the show, so you can have a look at those just to see how the inner workings of Prime and Megatron work. Not 100% accurate to Beast Wars, though, but at least for Megatron, that's different. There's also the Super Bucket, which are basically candy buckets for Halloween. The what they call the Super Cyborgs are $75 each. It's worth mentioning, so it's maybe a little bit rough, maybe.
Depends. Like vinyl collectors, like you'll easily find stuff that price.
You're probably right. It's coming out June this year. The Super Buckets are $20 each, and that's coming out in August. Just in time for Halloween. No surprise there, really. And then the Super 7 reaction figures, which are figurines of the classic characters in a retro style and packaging. Optimus Prime, Megatron, Soundwave, Bumblebee prototypes on display, available for $15 each in August as well. So these are the figures, to match with the rest of their kind of styled of figures. Like they've done Aliens and they've done everything under the sun in this kind of super retro. They don't do too much kind of stuff. How do you think these have turned out then, Mr. Mikey, for what they are, which is for a very specific collector, I think?
I think they're neat. I think they're cool. I like them. I if I had the spare money, I'd probably pick up at least one of the cyborgs.
Yeah.
I dig them. I'm not a vinyl collector. But as a display piece, they're very nice.
Yeah, they're not. From what I can tell or what I've seen about the Super 7 stuff, the reaction figures, they look like they're really good for on wall display because they don't have much articulation or anything like that. To me, they look like they are fine just to be left in a package.
Statuesque things.
Yes, I would agree with that.
However, I now officially love these for one reason only.
Okay.
Because the people in the comments are bitching about Action Masters again, and I'm fucking tired of it.
But it's not. Okay.
So now these are the greatest toys ever made, and if you don't buy them, you're a loser.
But I don't get it. It's not Hasbro that are doing it, so it's
Action Masters, Andy. Action Masters don't seem so bad now, guys. Action Masters Part 2. Those are the first comments I saw. No, they are the fourth and fifth comments down.
I'd argue that these would be better than... Actually, maybe not better than Action Masters, because they'd be missing out on the knee articulation, but technically they wouldn't have the terrible hips, which we talked about earlier in the show. So.
But they also wouldn't have Scream.
They wouldn't have the silly truck and tank for Megatron. They wouldn't have Jazz's skateboard. They wouldn't have Wing Thing.
Yeah, oh, well, worse toys.
They wouldn't have Bumblebee's helicopter pack, like he was a go-go gadget.
But if you want to hear a man break down about this whole inverted commas Action Master non-transforming thing, check. I was listening to the new TFW today.
Oh yes.
Chris has a moment. Chris has a good moment.
It's because he hates Action Masters, doesn't he? He started bitching about it. He was like, fuck these Action Masters, right in the poop.
Or he threw the Supreme in the bin, and then 5 seconds later you saw him throwing bin bags, desperately trying to find it again. I can't leave me Supreme.
We had a contract. We had a contract.
Diplomatic immunity.
Is that where Supreme blows the back of Chris's head out? Jesus.
It's just been revoked, but it's Chris's Supreme, who's this weird guy.
I mean, reflects the owner, I suppose.
True.
Drinks
his milk.
I have a feeling that, because I think this is the case, that every time that Hasbro license out their license to another company to produce Transformers stuff, they can't make a thing that transforms, right?
That seems to be the case, or else it has to be something very vague, like Sentinel did the pen, which is basically Optimus Prime holding himself in a straight line.
Yeah. Every time they've seemed to have sold the license, it doesn't seem to be, at least recently. So, someone could say, well, what about this thing? It's like, well, that's not now. A lot of the more recent things don't seem to transform, like the Flame Toys stuff, any of the Flame Toys stuff. That they did those giant Optimus, the Scorponok and Black Zarek ages ago.
As well, actually.
Was that Sentinel? Okay. So, yeah, maybe this is the reason. So, if you want them to transform, you're going to the wrong place, guys.
Yeah, and take advantage of the fact that it's allowing you to do something you couldn't do otherwise. Have some novelty. None of you are transforming your fucking toys anywhere. You stick them on a shelf and ignore them, most of you.
Shut up.
No, that's what they do.
Shut
that's
up.
What we all do. But you know what? Accept it. Love yourself for who you are.
Never.
Again, listen to WTF. Listen to a man break down.
Well, Mikey, do you want to take us on to a weird little unique piece of news then?
Yeah. So, Hasbro Pulse has officially opened, which is their new web store, and it's apparently pushing some exclusives. Some of the stuff they're pushing has nothing to do with Transformers. It's Power Rangers. I'm way more excited over it. I won't lie.
Oh, really?
Because it does one figure that needed to be done a very long time ago by Figuarts, and it never fucking did.
It's not the right figure, though.
It's as close as it's going to get, and I'm never going to use that head.
Oh, no. Stupid lizard dog.
Yeah, but it's like... Do you know he was the... Decamaster was voted by... Like, they did a poll who was the figuretti you wanted to make the most from Sentai.
Mm-hmm.
Decamaster won.
See, this was a while ago, wasn't it?
This was about 6 years ago.
Yeah, I thought so. I'm sure I remember probably you actually telling me about this.
Yeah. And it was just like, no, we're not going to make it. Fuck you.
What did they make instead? Or they just
nothing. They stopped making Sentai.
Oh, they have, haven't they? Yeah, they haven't done a new one for a while. Huh.
Yeah, but for anyone who doesn't know, the new Power Rangers toys from Hasbro come out. Zords aren't doing much for me, but
no.
I don't like the Go Buster designs. But the Lightning collection, those look pretty good.
Are those the ones that are clearly in figure art styled boxes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, those look pretty well done, and they're doing a Goldair and a Zed.
Yeah, I think more importantly, they're doing a Zed.
Yeah, they're doing Zed, they're doing Goldair, they're doing Decamaster. His name is Decamaster. You can all call him Shadow Ranger if you want.
No, he's Decamaster.
Yeah, and they're also doing Dino Charge Red, who more importantly is Kyori Red, who is King, who is the best Sentai Red they had in years.
He's fun. He's happy.
Yeah,
he's a good lad.
Yeah, and he has character and stuff.
You do. That was a good show.
That was a good show, and I really hope there's some third-party heads being done for it.
Oh, that'd be nice, yeah.
Because, if you get, Doggy and King as third-party heads, I'd be very happy.
The thing I would worry about them is just the quality on them, because I don't, the last time I handled a Marvel figure that Hasbro did, I didn't think it felt very good. Really? So I'd be slightly concerned about that at the very least. Or maybe you're not. Maybe you don't care, and I'm just being an elitist because I like my stuff from Japan.
We've got different standards.
We do.
But anyway, so Transformers wise, a lot of pre-orders went up for the new stuff, but this came out of nowhere. Ectotron, who is apparently a Combiner Wars Onslaught, heavily retooled into the Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Pre-orders are up for him now. I don't know if they sold out yet. It's going to be $40 on Hasbro Plus. They do ship internationally. Actually, pretty the shipping via Hasbro Plus is kind of stupid expensive. But they're also selling these things through Amazon. I haven't checked if Ecto 1 is up there, but most of their stuff is going through Amazon as well. Okay. So maybe keep an eye out. But Ectotron is going to be there, and that's not all.
Oh.
So the toy, like the alt mode, looks great. The robot mode looks like an onslaught wearing car parts. But apparently, and this came out of nowhere, IDW alongside announced that they are doing a 5-part mini-series, including the character, written and drawn by some of the team behind Ghostbusters, the IDW Ghostbusters, which was a
neat.
very, very well-received comic.
Cool. That's nice.
Beginning in June 2019, called Ghosts of Cybertron.
Is it going to be the start of the new Transformers universe?
Like, oh my god. But yeah, I saw the cover art for it, which wasn't amazing, but I'm still like, that came out of nowhere. But yeah, so a Voyager class Ecto-1. Like I said, I think the vehicle mode, especially since if it's an onslaught, holy crap, I thought turned out very well. They've also got a Slimer that goes along with it. And he has a proton pack for when he's a robot. I'm not crazy about the robot just because I think the colors are a bit bland. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a Ghostbusters guy, so I'm also, not the person to ask. Looks like he might also be available from GameStop. What's your thoughts on him, Andy?
He very much is an onslaught with a Ecto-1 car stuck on his back.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a neat idea. It's probably better than the last few crossovers that we've had in terms of toys. It's nice that it's getting fiction as well. That's kind
Street
of fun.
Fighter, Andy.
Yeah, but only half of those figures were ones that we actually liked.
Yeah, but they were still ones we were just like, oh my, we didn't just like them, Andy. We may have wanted to marry them at one point.
Maybe. You could be right.
Me and Bison, we could be happy together.
Michael Bibson. I mean, this does look good. I think the Ecto-1 car, if it looks that good in person, that's pretty impressive. The robot mode's a little lackluster, but I guess they're going for the Ghostbuster look, which is probably why it's not very appealing visually to me, at least in the robot mode. I think he looks way more appealing as the Ecto-1.
I think if they wanted the Ghostbuster look, he should look more like he's wearing the sort of uniform.
I think that's what they were trying to go for with the brown, but they didn't go all in.
It looks too skin color to me.
Maybe that's just the images. Maybe he'll look more brown in photos, I guess. But yeah, they probably needed to go with a darker shade, perhaps. But yeah, it doesn't do a lot for me, I'm afraid.
Yep.
Shall I move on, Mikey?
Yes, to the wrong toy.
I was gonna say, Mikey, how much do you like getting shafted?
like right where you weren't expecting it.
Yep. Every time Hasbro decided to give us the thing that we wanted. Ha ha ha.
But then they sort of went, "Hey, we don't like any of you."
No. This is what you guys asked for, right? This is what you want.
No. We said this last time.
You guys have mobile phones, don't you?
Yeah. No.
Everyone has mobile phones.
That's not the point.
So what is this? This is at the Hasbro panel, just as it ended, they revealed an up-and-coming G2 War for Cybertron Siege Megatron repaint.
Yeah!
Oh my god, Andy, they're doing a G2 Megatron.
Wow, it took them long enough.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah. I can't wait to see him in his wonderful green and purple camo.
I mean, he's
Megatron
green.
attacks.
Green camo.
Megatron attacks.
He does. He does attack. It's not the one we wanted to.
Pachoo!
Which Megatron, G2 Megatron, is this one based off of? Because it is a G2 one, isn't it? Oh, is it not the deluxe size one? What's it called?
I'll find out. It's annoying me, to be honest. So I'm just going to change. Look, but it's one of the ones with the bloody stickers. Yeah,
it's basically, for those not aware, it's the grey one with the green tiger stripes on it and the white body and the black face. That one. It's not the one that everyone. I say everyone. Maybe there are one or two people.
Okay, so it's an unreleased paint job for so the one.
Oh, I can see why people would be so connected and want this version then.
So
yes.
There was the Megatron, the Hero Megatron, who's the purple one, who they did last time.
Yep.
That we didn't want.
Yes, and it's that same mold, but then it's in this specific new color scheme. This is
an unreleased. It was going to be released in the It was at 1996.
Yes,
and
I see the picture of it.
And it was one donated version was sold at a charity auction.
Okay.
So there is someone out there who has this and could probably make money off it. But so naturally, when someone at Hasbro went, "Hey, what do you want from G2?" Like,
Fuck you.
do you know what's annoying? Do you know what's
Life.
really annoying?
Like existing.
It actually looks kind of decent.
It doesn't look terrible.
No, I like the fade effect on the cannon,
Yeah.
and it works, and the black face is interesting. You know,
I don't think the tank mode works because of the white.
No, but I think that
But,
tank mode
you
has
know.
problems.
Sure. Yeah, definitely 1000% yes.
But it's like you go over to America and you ask for a Kinder Egg,
Okay.
and they give you those ones with the soft, squishy center inside,
Mhm.
and it's like, okay, I get these. These seem nice enough. It's not a Kinder Egg.
No.
Not a Kinder Egg.
No.
And you're just sitting there wondering in your head, why can't I have a Kinder Egg? Who did I piss off not to get a Kinder Egg?
You made life choices, bad ones.
Yeah. What? I'm not asking for the world.
Is this an exclusive? Because it seems to come with a very fancy box.
It's
It's a web exclusive,
web
isn't it?
exclusive, so it's up on Big Bad TF Store. It's going to be sold like on the web shops, but
Okay.
nothing else available. But it's just, it's fine.
What a swing and a miss to make.
Not my child.
I think it's a swing and a miss. Again, there might be some people out there who are happy about it, and that's fine. I think they did as a dirty, again, a dirty dozen.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you.
What?
Brian Goldner's listening to this. I know you are, Brian. Fuck you.
What's a reboot?
Yeah. No, we're going to talk about. Okay, so this isn't in the list, but do you want me to just tell you something?
Yeah. That's why I threw it up there, because I remembered.
Yeah, so apparently, Brian Goldner was listening to Lorenzo de Bonaventura in the last few weeks and has apparently had enough of his shit. Because the Hasbro panel where they did a lot of the toy slides, which we won't really talk about because we've seen all the toys in physical now.
Yeah.
So. What the first bit of news, Bumblebee is officially the start of a new storytelling universe.
Mhm.
It is an official reboot.
Yes, I assume that that's the case because it did well.
Yes.
That's why it's been announced now, because it did well enough. Yeah.
I think it was a nebulous thing. This is really interesting because they've announced on one of the websites what the extras for the Bumblebee DVD and Blu-ray are going to be.
Oh, okay.
There's about 80 minutes of extras.
Mm-hmm.
About half an hour to 40 minutes of deleted scenes.
40 minutes? Wow, okay.
Do you know why? Because the list, I had a list here.
Yeah.
And it told me what was in them. It appears, if I'm interpreting these right, because some of the deleted scenes are up to 4 minutes long.
Wow, okay. Wow, that's a lot of deleted scenes then, Jesus.
So, as far as I can tell, these appear to be all the scenes that were cut out of the pre-screening that tied it into the movie.
All right.
So, there's one, and it said, okay, just read it out here. No, I don't want to go to that page. I don't care about that page. Nothing good is on that page.
It cares about you, Mikey.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Doesn't have feelings. So, there is a 2-minute, 2-second long original opening. Because the movie was supposed to open with Bumblebee on Earth already in his Jeep mode. So he was never going... The Cybertron stuff was added. The Decepticons inspect the armory, and Sector 7. Appliance War, which was apparently a scene... This is a 4-minute scene, and it's apparently one where Bumblebee plugs into... When he plugs into the socket... originally that included a scene where all the appliances came to life, a la the Allspark from his Energon. Save the world. Basically, War Room is another one, which was apparently one where they were talking about they can't let Shatter and Dropkick know about NBE-1. And so I think we're going to see that Megatron that they were talking about. That frozen in ice Megatron that looked like G1. So basically, it seems like you could very easily take a cut of this movie and edit in these scenes and make the prequel version of this movie. So, that's weird. That's weird, Andy.
It is.
Other extras are B-Vision, Transformers of Cybertron, Story of B, Stars Align. I don't know what that means. B goes back to G1, back to the Beetle. It seems to be basically all the extras are. We remember that this is what you want. Because the next one, California Cruising Down Memory Lane.
Oh, God.
Which is a 20-minute long one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, guys, Bumblebee's a reboot.
Woo!
Thank you. Now, if we can just get him his voice back in the next film.
Woo.
I thought they handled it well, but...
we need to move away from the no voice B.
Yeah, basically
quickly.
we need to... Now we have the reboot powers, we need to move away from the stuff that was being dragged over when they weren't sure what this film was going to be.
Agreed. Silent protagonists turned into dogs don't work desperately well, I think.
I think he was more a child than a dog, but...
I mean, in general, that's what Bumblebee was always played out to be until the last night, where he still he had dog-like qualities now and again, but I can see why you would say a child as well.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Cool.
I may as well take the next little bit, because it is going to be proper short. They showed off at Toyfair, obviously, a load of the toys in person that we were talking about earlier for Cyberverse, but there was one in the photos that we didn't talk about and didn't get an official image, wasn't there, Mr. Mikey?
Oh, God.
If you don't know, it's fine. I can tell you what it is.
Yeah.
It was one of the armor toys. It was a Shockwave with armor.
Oh, I didn't actually notice that.
I will get you the pictures, because he looks sort of neat. Kind of dumb with his armor on, but...
I think I've got it. I'm seeing purple.
You probably have, and I don't really want to use Skype because it's not fun.
It turns into a little satellite.
Yep, it turns into a satellite. He still turns into his thing.
Yeah, his thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
I like that.
I might have liked... Because here's the weird thing. All of the other armors are specifically different coloured from the thing that they're going on to, but Shockwave's isn't. Shockwave's is purple and pink, and I don't know if that is because it's not finished yet or what, but it seems a little bit of a bummer, at least in my eyes, that it colour matches him in some ways.
Yeah, because you don't really notice he's wearing it.
That's the thing. It's not a terrible thing, it's not an awful thing, but it's like that's a bit of a shame. Would be nice if there was a contrast colour for the armour. But I might buy this, to be honest, because I was always into that Shockwave, at least in robot mode. I hated...
He's a cool character.
Yeah, I absolutely detested the shitty arm gimmick thing that he had for his weird cannon mode thing, and this satellite thing might be better. I would also throw out the Starscream looks pretty cool, just because it's done in not grey plastic and more metallic-y silver, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot. Do you have anything else to say here, Mikey?
No. Glad you spotted him, to be honest.
Yeah, I was just flicking through the pictures while we were talking about the DVD and went, there you go. They also showed off Studio Series stuff, but I don't think there's anything exceptionally new that they showed off. Or am I wrong? Take us away, Mikey. Tell us about it.
So, we get physical looks at Jetwing Optimus, who we've seen a promo of. And to be honest, he looks pretty solid. We did see Jetfire, Megatron. Bone Crusher isn't new. KSI Boss, so he's just a repaint of Nitro Zeus, but apparently he is going to come with a new head.
Yeah.
The new stuff comes in the deluxe class. So we see the physical Hightower and Scrap Metal, who look absolutely insane in physical.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they turned a T-Rex into a crane. He has tiny arms, Andy.
They're so wee.
They are very wee. Dropkick, Shatter, Sideswipe, blah blah. The only other new one there is Drift. Who is... I did not see Drift coming.
Nor I, really.
So Drift is helicopter Drift, because you probably won't remember this, because my god, no one remembers this. Drift had like 3 or 4 scenes where he was a helicopter.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
I don't remember that. I vaguely recall I'm sure people talking about him being a triple changer, but I can't remember him at all transforming, to be honest.
Yeah, he does it twice.
In the movie?
In the movie.
Really?
Completely. One of them, he has no reason to do it. He just does it. And the
he's
other
showing
one,
off.
He's carrying Bumblebee. The
okay.
I'm really assuming you can swap out those helicopter blades.
Right.
Because they are very small.
Don't shy shame.
Look at his wee little blades, Andy.
You're making him sad, Mikey.
Look at his wee little blades.
It's not about the size of the blades, it's if it lets you fly in the air.
They
or
don't.
Something. They don't.
Somewhere Aaron is screaming. But the robot mode is super accurate to the show model.
Yeah, he still looks like he turns into a car, which is really weird.
Yeah, they've got his Bugatti parts on there.
Yeah.
But it looks... And it's not the stupid red and black drift.
No.
It's, I came up with a whole fan fiction about him not speaking English and being really offensive to everyone around him because he keeps speaking Japanese to people because he thinks that what they speak in China is Japanese because he's secretly a horrible racist.
Woo!
Remember that?
I do.
Yeah, good times. But no, I think he looks pretty decent, to be honest.
For what he is, I really like the helicopter mode. I'm not sold on the drift look. I'm more sold on the tiny little T-Rex Decepticon thing. That's way
insane.
better visually. But I really do think the helicopter is neat. It looks like a weird sub as well, like a future sub.
Looks fun.
Yeah. What else you got?
From that one, those are the new ones.
Those are all the new ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to take on the next little bit of news as well, since that was a quickie for you?
Yeah. There's a bit of a rumor going around that we're getting a Siege leader Astro Train via board member on TFW JT Prime 17, who went onto the website Southern Hobby and did some digging, and there seems to be a listing for leader class Astro Train. So cool.
Okay. We didn't see it at the show, by the by.
No. And I'll also throw it in here just because we're about to go on to generation stuff. They revealed 35th anniversary figures who are Sound Blaster,
Not
Blue
Wave.
Streak, not Wave, Sound Blaster, Blue Streak, and Optimus and Megatron, all of which are painted up in kind of a more cartoony vibe. So Soundwave was the only one physically there, but Optimus and Megatron are basically the Siege figures, but with sort of cel-shaded painting to give them that vibe in it.
Okay.
Which basically means, why would you ever buy the Siege figures? Because you don't have to get rid of the terrible, terrible battle damage.
Yep.
Which looks really bad on both of those figures, in my opinion. It's done better on other figures, but it is not done well on them.
From your perspective.
You mean the perspective of someone with eyes?
the righteous and the just.
The perspective of the sighted.
Are you saying it's better than the perspective of the heretic and the foolish?
Indeed.
Oh my.
So yeah, well, Sound Blaster always good to me. I really like Sound Blaster's colors, but I do like the option of getting those Megatron and that Optimus without dealing with that bloody damn battle damage nonsense.
Yes.
Okay, apart from that, we have generation stuff is next, is it? Or is
it is? Me? No, you can take that as well, because again, there's not a huge amount that we haven't already covered.
Yeah, so we saw Mega Supreme. He looks pretty neat. He has ankle tilts, which is setting the world on fire.
Do you think his face, I think his face is better here than it was in the promo shots, because it looks less like he has giant blue alien eyes, at least.
It does, but I'm a little sad now because he doesn't have giant blue alien eyes.
Oh, I'm happier because he doesn't look like a monstrosity. I mean, he looks like a Omega Supreme monstrosity, just not the bad kind.
We do see his base mode, and that thing's huge.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger than what I thought it was going to be.
It's taller than him.
What?
It's taller than him.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's weird.
His arms are taller than himself.
Well, that's just odd.
Because your arm span is supposed to be, what, equal to your height?
Well, in theory, yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's got a little cockpit sort of boarding section for countdown. But I actually dig the base mode more than I thought I would. And I am amused by the fact it's bigger than Omega Supreme. So, leader class, Jet, Galaxy Force Optimus. Thundercracker was revealed. He's new. To admit,
he's not.
Well, it's amazing what one bit of fiction can do, because I'm suddenly way more into Thundercracker figures than I ever was before.
Oh, Mikey is such a fool.
Yeah, but I like Thundercracker. I mean, I always liked Thundercracker. He just never did anything.
Do you really like this Thundercracker, though? Because you were never really sold on the mold. Well, from what you saw of Starscream.
True.
when he still turns into that really fat
Yeah.
Tetrajet.
And no dog. And no,
No dog.
wife.
No.
But Thundercracker.
Oh, Mikey.
Like, I wasn't crazy, but I like that 4-eye design, but I was never even thinking about picking up Starscream.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm just like, I could get a tiny dog to scale with that. Or get a giant woman. It's just like, you know, it's fine. One brand new thing, though, we have Springer, who is a triple changer.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of a surprise.
Yeah, he is, we do see the old battle damage, but he is very, again, tune accurate. I'm assuming they used the movie for reference for him.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think of him, Andy?
I heard an amusing thing, Mr. Mikey.
An amusing.
I thought it was amusing. People started throwing away their IDW Springers.
Fuck's sake, not again. No.
It's garbage, though, Mikey. This one's more G1.
It's garbage. You garbage. You'll never be anything. You're garbage. Oh, my God. Fuck off with your nonsense. One, I hate it when people say that, and I hate when people do that because it is, hey, don't need this, throw it in the bin.
When I said throw it in the bin, I to be fair, I didn't mean that literally. That was hyperbole.
Some people put pictures up, and I see videos of someone actually putting something in the bin and letting it being driven away.
That's odd, then. Yeah. I don't understand that.
But, sorry, no, the IDW one is a phenomenal toy.
It really is. Good.
Which means this guy has big shoes to fill.
Yes. Yeah, he actually does. Yeah. I think it's too soon to be throwing away your Springers.
I think his vehicle mode might be I think I like his vehicle mode design better.
Which one? Both of them.
The car mode, but I don't like the helicopter as much.
Is it because the helicopter's really fat?
No, it's like it's fat in the front and really thin at the back.
Which is kind of what the G1 toy was, I
suppose.
So
but you know, if I'm comparing Springer toys, I thought the previous Voyager had better proportions.
Yes, yeah, that is fair. But this is locked in and chained down to the fact it has to be G1, as we've said with most of this line. So I definitely feel it's been hampered by it. I mean, the whole Springer triple changer thing has been a difficult thing for even third parties to do at a much higher price point. So I think in that term, at least by that guideline, I think Hasbro's done a really good, solid job replicating, I guess, effectively what the third party companies have done.
Well, and I will say, I think the weathering is done better on him than on most.
Yes, yeah. I'd still like a non-weathered version, preferably.
Yes, please. But especially on the car mode, I think the weathering works very well there.
Yes, agreed.
But yeah, and also I'm just looking at Thundercracker now. My God, that's bad weathering.
It's on the toy, isn't it?
It's very badly done. Also, they broke his arm. How will he write with that arm?
He'll write with his mouth and like it.
My left foot, the Thundercracker story. I wrote with my head.
It was bad. But no, Springer, he looks good. He looks solid. I'm just not blown away by any of these Siege ones. There was one other figure that you missed as well, Mr. Mikey, a small one. Smashdown.
Yeah. We got revealed. That was and Red Alert.
I feel that we talked about Red Alert already.
We've seen an art picture of Red Alert.
Okay.
So this is our first physical one. I actually like his paint job.
It looks like Springer. Sorry. Ooh.
They'll never know it's me. They'll never turn on me if they think I'm Springer.
It looks like Sideswipe, but the different colors. Obviously, is what I meant. But I'm a fool. I've got bubblegum in my face again.
We've also got the physical impactor with his pouty lips.
God, it still just doesn't look good in real life, does it? I don't think
he just wanted a kiss.
It's nicer that it's got some different yellows on it to make different parts of it stand out, but oh dear.
I'm not a fan. Maybe it's one of those ones that's better in hand. Because from what I understand, the actual engineering on the Siege stuff is pretty impressive. And I hear good things about enough of them that are even if I'm not into aesthetic, I'd probably be into transforming them.
Yeah, probably.
Some of them. Thundercracker, I love you, but you're probably not a good transformation. We've also got Jetfire. We see some of his gimmicks, like you can put a Titan Master in him, and we find out what it meant when he can deploy deluxe figures. He has little handlebars that they can hold.
That's pretty fun. I like that.
He also has a rotating faction symbol, so he can be Decepticon or Autobot.
Yeah, for that like one scene or
It is a
one
bit
very
weird to me,
small episode.
just because I can't imagine anyone who's leaving him displayed as a Decepticon.
No, that's what I thought. I mean, it's nice that it's in there as an extra little bonus, but it is one of those like, really? I hope this was just like spare money that you had left over rather than dedicating any of it initially to it.
1/4 of the price.
Oh, that would be a bummer.
But yeah, Smashdown, who is apparently the Wrecker's Hammer.
Okay, I could buy that.
Who is a Minotaur.
Yes!
This is the best toy. This is the best Siege toy.
I really like him.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I don't think he
like
turns into a very good hammer.
No, he needs a longer handle.
Yes.
But I like his little... I like his effect part a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
But I like him a lot. A lot.
He's really cute.
Yeah, and I like the idea of this little bull man who just like da 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 da, and Impactor just grabs him and starts hitting him against people, and he's just like, I just wanted to entertain.
Oh, I prefer the idea that he likes to be in pin and he's like, use me to hit them, but you don't turn into a hammer. I'll find a way.
And he just like stretches out, hit me.
You just hear all of his joints like explode. I'm a hammer now. I don't think to hit me.
That's not an effect apart from when he contacts people, that parts of him exploding.
Exactly.
And he's just like,
they did
harder.
They did show off Caliburst as well, which is not in Caliburst colours. They've decided to put him in black and purple, if I recall. There's no picture of him up here I can see, but that seemed like an odd choice, but okay. I'd rather, if you're going to color Caliburst and call him Caliburst, color him the right colours or call him a different name.
Maybe you're the wrong choice.
I am. That's why I haven't been on a date for a while. So, Mr. Mikey, do you have anything else you want to share about Toyfair?
Not Transformers wise.
No. Did you see anything you liked?
A lot of stuff from Wonderfest was there, so that was good. They had some new Marvel, like they had these weird DC luchador figures, which I'm kind of into.
Oh, okay.
Which is like, because they're really like stylized. Like Batman is huge. Like Batman will never remove his mask because he can't get it off his head.
Oh no.
Yeah. I had a flick through earlier on. The Jurassic World figures look pretty solid. They're doing the Indominus, which is really good. They didn't reveal any new information on their like articulated collector figures though, which I'm a little nervous about because they showed off Malcolm, Chris Pratt, and Blue a while back, and we haven't seen anything since. And that Blue figure looked really good, and I'd like to see more. Also, they won Action Figure Line of the Year.
Oh, well, good for them.
Because basically Jurassic World kicked the shit out of every other toy line last year.
Yeah, I remember you telling me, and I thought it was weird then, as I do now.
But it's like the toys are a lot better than they were when they were Hasbro.
Well, that's something.
Lot, not hard to manage, but a lot better. But yeah, the Indominus they did looks pretty solid. It's still limited because it's still in a sort of a gimmick line, and they don't have the money to make those legs super articulated because at that size it couldn't stand up without a stand and blah blah. There wasn't a lot, not a lot of new stuff really grabbed me. Like I said, like the Hellboy figures were there from I think 1,000 Toys, and they look really good. Power Ranger stuff I mentioned, like I honestly think the Lightning Collection is like it kicks the shit out of anything Bandai did.
Oh well, yeah.
It just,
oh yeah.
Like, it's not even gently kicking the shit out of it. It's like banging their heads off the table, asking them if they want more, and when they say no, they do it anyway.
I have a feeling if you're a Power Ranger fan, and there's still a lot of those out there, this has been a very, very good year for you.
Oh my god, the Twitter exploded.
Yeah.
Like, I saw so much vitriol to Bandai.
I'm not surprised. I mean, everybody said for so long that Bandai of America is horrifically terrible. They are the joke of the toy industry.
And what was it someone said? Like, so all we had to do was make them look like humans.
Who knew? Yeah.
But yeah. Was there anything else that jumped out at me? Nothing I'd really draw attention to. It's all up in Toy Arc if you wanna have a look. See, Power Rangers comic is doing something interesting. They're getting a new writer in who's writing Go-Go Power Rangers, which is the teenage series.
Okay.
Which is actually really good. I don't think it's as good as the Kyle Higgins run on the main book, but it's still pretty solid. And they're doing the Shattered Legacy or Shattered Grid follow-up story, which is, the
big one.
Really amazing story that they did involving Lord Dracon. That was fucking brilliant. And if you read comics, I don't care what your interest is in Power Rangers, you need to read that story.
Are you saying that
really
at some point
good.
we might cover it for the Patreon show?
I would love to.
Okay.
I would absolutely love to. But they're doing it, and it looks like they're bringing the White Ranger in for the first time.
Oh, White Ranger Tiger Power. White Ranger Tiger Power.
Yeah, it's called Necessary Evil.
Why isn't it called White Ranger Tiger Power?
Because White Ranger has a very complicated history in the Boom universe.
Does it? Oh, okay. I won't ask about it.
Saba's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Because Dracon ripped his head off. Also, Dracon is the White Ranger, kind of. Yeah, basically, I'm very curious to see how this plays out. But hey, good comic.
Cool.
Hope the new run is good, because like I said, the stories he's writing now, they're not my favorite, but they're pretty solid, so.
Oh, fair play.
But yeah, I wouldn't say there's anything else at Toyfair that I'm really up for a chat about. Anything you saw?
No, I didn't. Nothing really piqued my interest, to be honest. I kind of looked through some stuff and just went,
That looks fine.
Yeah.
What about the My Little Pony by Shoujos?
I didn't even see those, so I couldn't
How
tell
did you miss those, Andy?
I don't know. I did, though, somehow.
I'm just looking to see if there's anything I missed. DC... Oh, Spyro the Dragon. NECA are doing a Spyro the Dragon.
Yeah, but it's NECA.
It's NECA. And if we say... Right now, we're already being banned by the NECA Twitter.
What do you mean?
Having said that. Because, the NECA Twitter is an asshole.
Is it?
Oh yeah, if you message NECA and you are not nice about NECA, it's not like if you're rude. If you're just not nice about NECA, ban.
That's a bit of a bummer, but fair enough. Okay.
Let's see. DC collectibles, which are what appears to be a Bruce Timm style Red Hood.
Yeah, they're doing Azrael as well.
Why?
Because they want money, and this will guarantee them money.
But neither of them in Bruce Timm universe were be.
No. There's I think there's a few others as well that they showed off that weren't in that animated universe, but they're just doing it.
Hang on. I just realized they're doing another movie where Bruce Timm's doing the animation. So I'm wondering if there's just a series of DC movies that are coming out that's Bruce Timm involved, and they're all Batman because they won't make a movie about anyone else.
I'm pretty sure it's because those are the only ones that sell.
No, that's because... Do you know why none of the other ones sell? Because they haven't made one in 50 years.
Well, they make the Superman ones, ones.
Which were the better ones they've done. And that people watch, but no, they want
I don't hear anything good about Reign of Superman, to be fair. I heard from Dave that it was poop, and since he's a Superman fan and apologist in some ways...
I haven't actually seen Reign of Superman. I like the first one.
Yeah, it was fine.
But I haven't seen... Slade. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Batman armor. I'm sure that was in something. And then the Luchador ones.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a Bruce Timm version of the Dark Knight one, in his robot Batman beating up suit.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, there is.
Which is, again, weird. I don't get it.
Yeah, the Luchador thing, DCI Lucha. Explosiva.
It'll get the money, I suppose, so,
I kind of dig it. I actually quite like the Wonder Woman and the Cheetah. Although Wonder Woman looks like she can't see. I don't know how she sees. And do you see the Batman?
What do you mean?
Have you... Hang on, I'll show you. And I won't send a picture, I'll send a link, because those work better over Skype.
Yeah, Skype. You're such a pain. Oh, yeah. Yes, he's neat.
Yeah. But yeah, so not a lot grabbing me, to be honest. It's just DC will not let Batman die.
Nah, well, it is the cash cow for them.
I know, but the cash cow has been milked.
Oh, it did that, was...
Oh, NECA Godzilla was something as well, that for the new movie.
Oh.
And what appears to be, because Godzilla's technically got a new design, so, the figure arts is a brand new mold.
Right.
And what they appear to have done, NECA, is take their old mold... I think they changed some of the spines and done nothing else.
Oh, fair enough.
And they've also done Rodan and the rest. And I just... they're going to fuck it up.
Well, Mikey, let me take you on to the last part of this Transformers news before we move on to the end of the show. And it's just, hey, TFCon, we got even more guests coming, surprisingly. Remember, that's March 15th to the 17th in some part of America, Las Vegas. No, Los Angeles. That's the place. It's the same place. Geographically, they're next to each other. So we got Marty Eisenberg coming. He was story editor on Beast Machines and Transformers Animated, and he's done other stuff as well. We've also got Clive Revel, that guy, who voiced Kickback in G1. Electrons. Or was that Shrapnel that said that?
I have honestly no idea.
Neither do I. But that guy's coming, so that's cool. And we've also got Bryce Malek. I'm going to, again, assume that I said that correctly. Or incorrectly. Who was a writer and story editor on G1. So, yeah, even more people, Mikey. It's the show that just has everyone. And yet has not announced us yet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why we've been,
shunted, ignored.
Shunted is a good word for it.
Yeah, it's the disrespect, constant. But that is all the news for this week. So, Mikey, have you done anything interesting this week? Anything fun?
A wee bit. Tokusatsu Gaga episode 4, which dealt with a new nerd type, which, the nerd who is very ashamed of the fact that they're a nerd, or that they're into something that people may not see as normal, and made a mistake and hurt a friend over it, and then hurt other people over it, and kind of became a bit of a recluse. But yeah, continues to be a pretty damn good show. I laughed a lot during this one. It was well paced. It's got a nice tone to it. It's very aware of what it is to be like. This is a show that was created by someone who gets it. They are a nerd. They're probably a toku nerd. It just came together very well, in my opinion. Very well acted. I don't know, like, you gotta watch it. If you are a nerd, a geek, or anything, you need to watch this show because it is made specifically with you in mind. It is speaking to you and telling you it is okay.
I watched the first episode of that today, actually.
Oh, what do you think?
Yeah, it was really fun. I really liked the end of the first episode where she's just like looks over the tray and sees the other lady with the keychain, and she's like, and the other lady's like, and it's just she looks over her shoulder, she exits the tray, and she waves, and she's like, oh, I've made a friend today.
Yeah.
Part 1 of making a friend.
Yeah.
I was really interested as well on the whole fish symbol, which is like, how do you find out if someone was Christian in Japan in ancient times? Because I assume that has to be a real thing.
No, it is. It
wouldn't have been fake. So
because there was a time in Japan you did not admit to being Christian.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I had no idea about that.
But I knew about the whole you couldn't admit to being Christian, but I didn't know there was like a secret symbol.
Because I always wondered where that fish symbol came from, and it's probably not that, but it's probably an interesting way to show it, I guess.
Yeah,
it was really interesting. I liked it a lot. Though I did feel really bad for her colleague who clearly has the hots for her.
Oh yes.
Clearly.
Everyone seems to think she's this amazing, perfect person at work, and I think that's an interesting thing considering we're in her head and she's nuts.
Yeah.
But is your man in that, what's his name, Chariko? The guy she hates at work?
He hasn't... Is he the store owner?
No. He's at her job. He's got longer hair.
No, he hasn't appeared yet.
Yeah, no, you'll know him.
Okay.
The store owner is the Yakuza fella.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, the way he was walking, I was waiting for him to go, Kurra! Roll his own. Oh, it's like a madman. Nindeto!
Buy my toys.
You piece of shit.
Because he's clearly running a model shop. But no, like, it's a really good show.
It's fun.
Seriously, even if you're not into Japanese stuff, I would say check it out.
Yeah.
It's well worth your time. And if you are into Japanese stuff, why are you even listening to this? Go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
After you've stopped listening to us. Speaking of Japanese stuff, Kamen Rider Geo 20, yeah. Which introduced Kamen Rider Geo 2. Because this got subbed late, so I'm fairly certain I didn't talk about this last week. Which is a cool design. I quite like the design. But I ended the episode thinking about that this would have been a really strong episode, looking at maybe this main character taking the first steps down a darker road, if you'd done any real job establishing him as a character that was more than just get to plot point A, blank space, plot point B, blank space, plot point C. Sogo's not a particularly strong protagonist, and the fact that he's just... What they seem to do is like have him have these pillar moments, and then in between the pillars he's just the guy he was in episode 1, until you have a pillar moment and then he's just like, oh, something else going on. Because it's just like, it's about him accepting the darkness in himself, except it's a darkness that has never been there. Like this is where I was thinking, like, if he was a Michi type of character, where, okay, he seems outwardly very good, but there's occasionally these flashes of just like, you could be nasty if you wanted to be. But what he is a goofy, one-dimensional, two-dimensional protagonist who is also, because of plot, occasionally in a moment where it's like, I could be dark. I must accept the darkness in me. And it's just like, you don't have any darkness in you. Apart from that, it was okay. There was a decent fight with Gates and another Ryuga, who is still a great suit. Don't know where we're going from here. Like, they end in a way where just like, we can't let this continue. And it was just like, this feels really arbitrary. I think it's an average show. I think it's a better show as an anniversary show than Decade, and I think it does a better Decade than Decade.
Yes.
But I also think that overall the series is lacking in the storytelling department and the character structure for the main 3 characters.
Okay.
Because Gates is probably the best developed, and he's still pretty flat.
Well, the secondary writer gets the best development in a common writer show. This is unheard of.
Unheard of, but he's like, it's relatively best developed.
Right, in the context of everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, the best thing about this is the time travel stuff. Not the anniversary stuff is something they do seem to be pulling back from, I've noticed.
Okay.
But the time travel does some interesting stuff. Like, the Gaim episodes had an interesting use of time travel. And I think I saw someone like say Geo is a solid little show when they just do the show they clearly wanted to do in the first place. But even then I wouldn't say the writer is a particularly good character writer. And considering he was the writer on the Ninja, is that a shock?
No.
So yeah, no anime this week because I didn't really have time to. Like, I really need to do a catch up on this season. I'm way behind. But Dragon Prince Season 2 aired.
Oh, okay.
On Netflix. The animation definitely is a lot more... I rewatched Season 1 beforehand, and my god, I had forgotten just how framey those first 3 episodes were. Like, I had genuinely forgotten how framey it was. It's much improved in Season 2. It's still a bit framey, but it definitely actually feels more like a stylistic choice.
Okay.
Rather than... we made a stylistic choice and left out about half the frames.
Yeah.
Like, which is what, like, Season 1 gets better, but those first 3 episodes are... And then they speed everything up for action scenes, and it's just like, we know you're there. We know you see. But no, like, it is... So I like Season 1 a lot. I think it's a solid show. I think Season 2 is better.
Well, you'd hope so. You definitely hope so that they'd improve into a Season 2.
But, like, that means it's probably the best Western... Certainly of the big name Western shows like She-Ra or Cameron Sandiego, which I've only seen a little bit of, it is fair, like, alright, objectively it's miles ahead, in my opinion. Because She-Ra had a lot of good in it and a lot of problems. That very few people talk about those problems, and I don't really get it. Like, I'm still frustrated.
If you want, I can talk about those problems, because I didn't like that show.
No, I'm still frustrated by the fact that 2 princesses, Spinner, Ella, and the other one, don't do anything.
Netossa.
Yeah, they don't do anything for most of the show, and then at the end it's just like, we're all together, just like...
Who are
what?
you?
Yeah, like, we know you're going out, and we know that you're a gag character. Why are you elevated to main character status at the very end of the race?
Mm-hmm.
Why did the Ice Girl show up? Why haven't we looked into the Techno Girl? Because she was fun, I liked her. I don't think Catra's that good a character. I think it's interesting they went down the road they did with her, but I think they played it a bit too heavy beforehand. Etc., etc. But I think it's a decent show. I do like it. But Dragon Prince. Uses its characters very well. Again, has a lot of very grey, morally complex villains who may or may not actually be villains. Claudia is probably the standout from that because she is a character of two very different extremes. Also Soren, who I ended up hating for a lot of this series because you're kind of supposed to. Interesting stuff at the end that sort of didn't redeem him, but added that little layer of just like he's not necessarily a monster. Right? Because he's a goofball bad guy type, except he's not really a bad guy. He's someone who is desperate to be loved by his father. The main three characters are excellent. Rayla is kind of the standout for me, but the other two, Callum and Ezran, really, really fun. Action is solid. Plotting is good. There is a big twist at the end that I did not see coming. And yeah, definitely setting up for season 3. But minimum, I'd say you're going to get 6 seasons out of this series, just because it's doing the book format Avatar used, and there's 6. The books seem to be based on the 6 primal magics, and there's, 6 magics, 6 seasons.
Okay, good. Don't stretch it out too far then.
No, and they're short enough seasons. They're only 8 and 9 episodes each, so it's not going to crush you with the length. But no, really serious. One I don't see people talking about as well, and I feel that just says something to the people of the world. But hey, it turns out when you get the guys directly behind Avatar doing a series that's like this with a bit more freedom than you get in network television, they do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
The other thing was Genlock, episode 5? Yeah, 5. We're 4 weeks in, but they are 2. So yeah, 5, which followed up on last week's kind of, I won't say body horror, but kind of body horror stuff. Which was basically looking at Cammy, the Scottish girl, and how she's handling things, and how she goes a little bit off the rails. And there's a lot of action in this one. It's mostly an action episode, despite the fact it sort of tricks you at the start thinking it's psychological. God, the action in this show is really well done. This is why I want Rooster Teeth to do stuff. I'm sad now. Yeah, and we get the first evidence that they're going to start customizing the mechs. They start getting custom weapons. We find out a bit more, or at least there's more hinted about the evil mech. Which has got me asking a lot of questions about one of the main characters. Because they do some stuff at the end that I didn't notice the first time I watched it. And then I saw someone say, wow, it was really cool they did this. And I listened with headphones. And I realized just the speakers on the my laptop aren't very good.
Yeah.
And then I heard it with headphones and just like, okay, now I'm creeped out. Because, hey, yeah, this show it's not particularly bloody, but it ain't pulling punches. There is a body count in this show, and there's a creep factor. Yeah, also there is genuinely one of the pilots, if she's not a sexual predator, or I suppose if he's not a sexual predator now, then they're doing a very good impression. But yeah, also the Japanese character Kazu is officially brilliant. He is amazing. He just wants to hit things. Yeah, good show. Really, 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 really good show. Yeah, that was me for the week. Andy, what about you?
I did a few things this week. I went to see my buddy Matt on Friday, so I had some fun with him. On the obviously Monday I did Poopcast editing. I watched the first episode of Tokusatsu Gaga 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 Gaga. Yeah, I watched that as I mentioned. I also watched 6 episodes of the Rising of the Shield Hero. I really like that show. That is a good show.
Never heard of that one.
You haven't heard of it?
No.
That's good. I'm surprised because there was a big controversy over it.
Rising of the Shield Hero.
Yes.
Is
Tate no
this
Yusha.
Is this the one? Because you put up a picture of all the isekai animes that everyone liked. And
yes,
then
it was one
online.
It was one of the ones in there.
No, I'd never. I recognized the picture from when you shared it, and I was going that's not ReZero.
Yep.
But I don't. Yeah. So what is this?
It is a story of. It's an isekai. So get this: person teleported to another world. Fate of the world in the hands. But the kind of crux to this show is he's accused of a crime early on, which he doesn't commit. And this subsequently everyone hates him in the world. So usually you'd have it's kind of a opposite to how the slime show works, where everybody just fucking loves him and he has such an easy time. This guy doesn't have an easy time. Everyone doesn't really like him initially. He has to work and he has to use his skills to acquire money and stuff to level up to be able to defend people. And he's there with 4 other heroes, but they kind of treat him like shit because he is only a shield hero and he can't use a weapon.
Ah, okay.
So it's good. It's got some good heart and feeling in there as well from the little slave raccoon girl that he saves.
Well, of course, she's
Yeah, she's a demi-human, so it's one of those things that, of course, demi-humans aren't treated as real people in that world. And she's like, you. And she's like, I'll always be there for you, even though the world fucking hates you. And he's like, "Ah," and I'm like, yeah. It's not.
Does he want to go home?
Yes, he has said a few times he wants to go home.
Where people are not accusing him of whatever this crime thing was.
Exactly. I'm really enjoying it. It was one of those things where 5 episodes were out. I was like, when's the next episode? Oh, it's this week. Oh, well, may as well watch the 6th one. I'm not sure if it's because it's like 25 episodes, if I'm going to watch them week by week. Because it's one of those 25 episodes. There's going to be the episodes where you're like, man, I wish there was more substance in this episode. Because, that's kind of how anime work if they're a longer show. But I am enjoying it so far. What else did I get up to? I split a new Warhammer Age of Sigmar box with Mr. Gruff. I have sent his stuff. It's called The Carrion Empire: Inhuman Horrors Clash Over Ancient Glories. So it is the Flesh Eater Courts, which are devolved vampires into more like ghoul creatures. If you imagine the vampires from the Blade 2, except without the worm tongues, they're them. They're kind of the look down upon guys, but they have like giant flesh dragons and zombie dragons and stuff like that. So I've got that half of the kit, and Gruff's half of the kit are the Skaven, which are giant rat men. His half of the box included a lot of siege weapons, like a warp lightning cannon, which is a giant rock attached to a cannon, effectively, and storm fiends, which are giant rats that have Gatling guns for arms, or drills for arms, and gas masks for faces and whatnot. It's pretty cool. It's a good little set, so I send that off to Mr. Gruff, and technically, because we bought it together, we only paid half price for it. Because he's paying for one half, I'm paying for the other half. So it's nice. That's how that works. That's how you do Warhammer gaming. You split boxes and save monies. And that might have been all of the fancy stuff I did.
The fancy schmancy.
The fancy stuff, yeah, because I watched that. It's just each night now continuing on with not Discovery. Oh Lord, no.
I saw
with Enterprise.
Jason commented on that today, just like, oh, latest episode of Discovery got you in the feels, and I'm just like, I don't trust you, Jason. I don't trust you. I've been burnt before.
He sounds like he really enjoys Star Trek, and that's good. I'm glad he's enjoying Discovery.
I'm happy for him.
I have a feeling that it's not going to be for me again.
So what? Sorry, I interrupted you. What were you watching?
It was just not Discovery. It was Enterprise. There's more Enterprise I've seen, so that's always good. I'm enjoying that. I thought there was one other thing. I don't think so. I think that's all of the fancy stuff. It's just been more Battlefleet Gothic Armada as well, recording stuff and trying to get it ready and sent off to Gruff, but I haven't. It's just been a lot of recording so far this week for that. But yeah, that's it. Oh, we did a podcast with Jason as well this week, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yes, which was our Patreon woo-woo episode on Gridman, SSSSS Gridman, which I haven't started on yet, but we've still got a few days before that needs to go up, so yay. So again, thank you, Jason, for joining us on that show, and that Moonbase woo-woo will be up in the future at some point. Yep. And we also, me and you, Mr. Mikey, need to sort out when to do a comic show as well for this month.
I was thinking about that today.
Very good. Right, well, thank you everybody for listening to the show for this week. This is Andy, and that's Mikey.
Is it?
I'm told by your doctors, who have your genetic sample on record.
That explains the itchy anus.
They told me they'd go through the mouth, but okay.
Apparently it's better going through the rectum.
Where can people find you online, Mr. Mikey, unless you have any questions this week, because I don't.
I don't know.
Okay.
You can find me on Twitter, Irish Paleo, and on YouTube as GWV3. You can send us feedback if you'd like, guys. The email address is themoonbase2@gmail.com. You can also send us on Twitter. You can also send us on Patreon if you are a patron. Keep in contact. Tell us what you think. We do love getting it. That's me. Andy, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter as CCTFW, on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums, or on Twitter, or on iTunes, or on Facebook, or on Libsyn, on most of those fancy places online for the RSS feeds. You can also head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2. Do $2 each month, and you get the Moonbase Woo Woo episodes, which are random non-transformery things that we talk about. And you can also get From the Files of Teletran 2 a week early, and the extended version where we talk about a non-transformer comic or something that we really want to talk about.
Yep.
And you can head over to ccbunker.weebly.com, where you can hear extra stuff that I've done in the week. Oh, because I recorded, that's something I did. I recorded a very short audio reading for a Warhammer Age of Sigmar story for Gruff, which should be going up at some point in the future.
Cool.
So if you want to hear me read a story poorly, you can, go there and listen to me.
Could you read it well?
I mean, I had to edit it quite a lot. I think I was the easiest one for Gruff because I did all the editing myself. And I think other people who have been doing it have just been reading it and just been like, right, you can do all the editing and get rid of all the bad takes. And I was just like, no, I won't do that to you, because it took me an entire day to do effectively 10 minutes worth of work. Because that's how editing works. It never underestimate how long it takes to fucking edit. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
So yeah, that'll do us. Thank you guys for listening, and we will catch you next week for more Moonbase 2 action on the Moonbase Action Hour thing.
Kittens.